Welcome back to COUNTERSTONKS, the show where I break down valuations of stocks for my 11-year-old son while playing Counter-Strike 2, because RF farming isn't just for Warren Buffett anymore. We can all sip Coca-Cola and eat See's candy while owning a piece of the company. Today is Thursday, June 4th, 2026, and we're looking at Google versus Microsoft, who wins. And Dylan, I know the numbers can be kind of mid, right? So rewind hella mid. But yeah, we need the numbers. So I want to give you a hook, like a big idea right here up front. This is it. If you can see through the fog of war, you can keep the better parts of our species alive and safe from our own base instincts. It's a massive opportunity for growth. So, for example, this game, Counter-Strike 2, running around buying guns and shooting each other over and over. It feels kind of like Unk Slop. It probably is. But I think there's a ton of persuasive programming packed into this thing. So we're getting hooked on this even as we're playing it, not to mention some BS, BDE type stuff from winning. You've been teabagged, right?
Many times.
Yeah, I've been teabagged. So why do it? Like, why play this game? And my hope is to see through the fog of war, the brutality and the carnage to the golden light of teamwork, right? Like, I'm looking out for you and you're looking out for me. We grow together. So what does that have to do with the stock market, with Google versus Microsoft? Because that's what we're up to today. We're looking at Google versus Microsoft. Well, think about this. Anyone can own a piece of these companies. Like, even when I was working as a hamburger cook, I was buying stock. It's the great equalizer. It's a big reason why America is, I see you, why America is the land of opportunity. Like, the stock market is kind of brutal and chaotic, like this game. So a lot of people miss the point among the brutality. The point for me is I'm not investing just for me. I'm doing it for my family, for my community, my church. To see through the fog of war, this kind of seeing beyond knowledge, beyond wisdom, like having real insight, you know? I don't even know if it's possible. Like, do you remember that Terrence Malick movie we watched on Memorial Day, The Thin Red Line?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a movie about how people can gain insight even in the middle of the worst possible situations. So I want to give a shout out to old Ben Graham and Mr. Market. We've seen Mr. Market going wild this week, more chaos and intractable war. But to have real insight, we have to remember the actions that Graham highlighted for the enterprising investor. Buy low and sell high, which never feels right. It never feels right. Buy carefully chosen growth stocks. That's why we've come up with a list of questions for you to ask. Buy bargain issues of various types, i.e. diversify. And buy into special situations, like when a company can do something no one else can do. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's our big hook, you know? And we'll come back to Mr. Market. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a moment. So let's get started with Google versus Microsoft. Dylan, do you have some questions?
Yes, my first question is, what does Google do?
Yeah, that's okay. Great. That's a great place to start. What do they do? So Google is a multinational technology corporation that organizes the world's information and makes it accessible. And so it's best known as a search engine. Like, people will say stuff like, I Googled that, or I Googled this. But its business actually spans like advertising. I don't think I want to go down this alley. Maybe I do. It spans advertising, artificial intelligence, consumer hardware, software, cloud computing. And the cloud computing piece is a big one. So yeah, that's what Google does.
My next question is, how does Google make money?
Yeah, that's a funny one. That's a mystery. Like, I remember when I got my first Gmail, I was just like, how am I not having to pay for email right now? So like, how you like we've used Google Sheets, we're using YouTube for this. All of those are parts of Google, right? Like, how are they generating any money? And so 75 to 80% of their money they're getting through digital advertising. That's how they generate money. So they're offering massively popular free services like search engine, YouTube, maps, and They collect data to help businesses target specific audiences, so they're watching you and they're watching what you're using the apps to do. And they further leverage this by sharing some of their revenue with content creators. So like for us, that means like and subscribe, right? Like that's the mantra here on YouTube, because that's how we can get a piece of Google's ad revenue. So let's enough about Google. Let's talk about a comparison company. So I thought Microsoft would be a good one for us to compare.
My question about Microsoft is, what does Microsoft do?
Yeah, so this is the funny thing. It's almost the exact same thing that Google does. Microsoft is a global technology company that develops, manufactures, licenses, and supports a wide range of like software, hardware, AI, and cloud services. So AI, cloud services, what you might call like business software, stuff like that. That's what Microsoft does. So pretty much the same thing Google does.
Yeah. How does Microsoft make money?
Yeah, so they're different from Google here. Oh man, Rambo. Microsoft generates its revenue primarily through cloud computing, enterprise software, like including Office and AI-driven tools, games like Halo, that was a Microsoft game, and then personal computer hardware. So they're not using ad revenue to generate their money. They're selling stuff, like they're selling software, they're selling hardware.
Can you describe these companies in your own words?
Yeah, they're both betting on the future of technology and people together. So Google thinks the future is driven by digital advertising, and Microsoft sees a future driven by what they call individual empowerment, right? They're both kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah. So why compare them? They kind of sound like the same company, just a slight different sentence.
Yeah, so that's where Ben Graham and Mr. Market comes in the fog of war, like this freaking cloud in here and people coming at us. Dang, I just got flashbanged.
You're so dead.
I am, yeah. This is not looking good. And Rambo's still alive. He's
health.
gonna get me. He's gonna get me right now. I just know it. Get this hostage.
Rip.
And then that's him. All right. Yep. So I want to tell you a little story. I want to tell you a story. So imagine you've got a lemonade stand, right?
Yeah.
At the park, right? And every day, like you do this all summer long. Every day, all summer long, like you've got a good product, you've got good lemonade, whatever. Every day, this funny guy runs up to you, and like he wants to buy your lemonade stand, right? Let's call him Mr. Market. And so like the first day, he's like, man, everyone's into lemonade right now. It's the best thing in the world. So I'll tell you what, I'll buy your lemonade stand for $50. I'll give you $50 for your lemonade stand. And, it's like you might think about it for a second, but you like your lemonade stand. You like seeing neighbors, whatever. The next day he runs up to you and he's like, man, lemonade's out. No one wants lemonade right now. I'll buy your lemonade stand. I'll take it off you, but I'll take it off your hands. But I can only give you 50 cents for your lemonade stand. And you're like, whoa, yesterday you said $50 and now you're saying 50 cents? Like, so every day this guy comes up to you, right? And some days he's like $50. One day he's like $500. I'll give you $500 for your lemonade stand right now, right? But like, what would you start to think about this person? I've got a hostage, by the way. I mean, the answer is the person must be a lunatic, like what are they doing? Like why one day is it $50, the next day it's 50 cents? The stock market's the exact same way. So underlying business like Google versus Microsoft, it's really helpful to look because they're basically the same business. But if we compare them right now, something wildly different is happening with these two companies. So I want to look at them right side by side and talk about what is going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Google has an intrinsic value right now. So it's about 35% overvalued, according to most of what the analysts are telling us. Microsoft is only marginally overvalued, right? Some people say around 4% overvalued. So that's interesting. Like they're both basically the same company, but over the last 12 months, Google has significantly outperformed Microsoft. So they've delivered a return of 122% compared to like Microsoft's like 8 or 9% drop in their stock value, right? Now, I want to rewind real quick and remember what Ben Graham said was buy low and sell high, right? So right now we've got basically the same company. One of them is 35% overvalued and one of them's only a little bit overvalued, and it's had a drop in its price over the last 12 years, 12 months, I should say. If we look at their growth over time, Google's grown a lot. And they may be the cooler, smarter, maybe they've got a special thing, you know. I gotta stop trying to fight Rambo. If we look at their profitability, though, they're basically equal in terms of what they're producing. In fact, right now, Microsoft is more profitable than Google. They're generating more revenue, and they've been consistently more profitable for the last like 3 to 5 years. Microsoft's gross margin is higher than Google's. Their operating margin is higher than Google's. The net margin's kind of been all over the place, but it's consistently higher. Microsoft is consistently higher than Google. The return on investment is at a funny point, and maybe this has something to do with AI and the cloud and where we're at with this. But it looks like they're starting to track closer and closer to each other in terms of return on investment. But at the same time, Microsoft pays a much better dividend, and they've consistently grown their dividend. So if you want to follow the principles of buying low and selling high, Microsoft looks like the better buy right now. Google looks more like a possible sell. Now, is it just the values that we can go off of? No, there's like clearly Mr. Market thinks something about Google versus Microsoft. It is Mr. Market has brought Microsoft down a peg. And when we look at the stock performance, that's very, very obvious. It's like a chasm separates these two companies. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is just a helpful comparison to make if we're going to be investing according to these sound principles of looking for companies that show a possibility for growth. To think about the story of Mr. Market, right? To see through the fog of war, like when the market goes down. Good job on that one, by the way. To see when the market goes down or when the market goes up, to look past that to just like, is it a good lemonade stand or a bad lemonade stand? Both these companies are great companies, but if one of them is overvalued and the other one may just be slightly overvalued, and you have money and someone is like basically putting a gun to your head and saying buying a stock, my money right now is on Microsoft, just because I'm getting more for my money. So that's it for today. Yeah. Thank you for watching me die over and over. Remember, stonks, not drunks. We're headed out for pizza, and we'll have social media stuff set up by next week, I think. So then shoot us a comment, question, troll the crap out of us down below. Oh, man. See you next time.
Bye.
I get Rambo.
We're going out for pizza.
Yes, I hope we're going out for pizza. That was my plan, at least. It's over there. It's so over there. You know, I get it. I should get the hostage, but then just camp out. You know, wait for him to get me. Anyway, shoot out that window. He's out got this.
The information contained is for general information and educational purposes only. It is not intended for a substitute for legal, commercial, and/or financial advice from a licensed professional. Review our full disclaimer at benstolemyname.com. This material may be protected by copyright